When you're moving to a new country and you're looking for a good school for your kids, it can be frustrating to find from all the information, sift through all the different types of schools out there and find the perfect school for your kids. So in this video, I'll talk about the different types of public schools and private schools so you can choose the right school for your kids. Let's get into it. So in Turkey, the Ministry of Education, Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı in Turkish, actually controls and oversees the schooling system within Turkey. So it's centrally controlled, one body, not regionally, unlike other countries. In 2012, there was a law that was called 4+4+4, and what that meant was that they made the education compulsory for those 12 years. So you're looking at primary or elementary school, middle school, and high school. So 12 years of schooling became compulsory for all children. The curriculum that they're following is the Turkish national curriculum, which is taught in a Turkish medium language in public schools. So the language of instruction is Turkish. There are foreign languages offered as well as courses or side subjects, for example, English. In some schools, in French and German are also offered, maybe Spanish as well. Depending on the city, in big cities, usually like Istanbul, Ankara, Izmir, you will find more options available in terms of languages. The schooling system is address-based, so you can only send your schools based on where you're located. So you might have a choice of 2 to 3 schools, but again, you're limited to those schools in your region. So it's very important to pick where you're living, also looking at the certain schools that are available in that area. Okay, so now let's talk about the different types of schools that are available. So there's elementary school, there's the middle schools and high schools. So in elementary school, you're looking at grade 1 to grade 4. And in these schools, uniform is mandatory. So these children are wearing uniform to avoid issues of social class and differences. The subjects that are taught are from grade 1 to 3, mainly are Turkish, math, and something called Hayat Bilgisi in Turkish. So that means life knowledge, so just sort of general knowledge sort of topics. And from grade 4th onwards, they are introducing foreign language as English and also social science studies. For middle school, so from grade 5 to 8, there's Turkish, math, science, social studies, and also foreign language, which is English mainly. And in grade 8, they're also introducing the Turkish history, as well as part of the curriculum. At the end of grade 8, also there's a special exam that the students enter, and based on that exam, they are able to get into certain very high-performing high schools where all the, let's say, high-performing students go to. So, for example, some of the names that you can look this up as well. They're called Galatasaray, for example, in Istanbul. Fen Lisesi is a famous one. There are also a few more top-performing. There's a list that you can find online if you just top public high schools in Turkey. We can find that list, or I'll post it in the description below for you. Okay, so when it comes to high schools, things get a bit complicated. So there's different types of public high schools, right? We're talking about public schools for now. So public high schools, there is Fen Lisesi, so that means science-based high schools. There's Anadolu Lisesi, Anatolian high schools. There's sports, fine arts, Imam, Hatip. So there are a variety of different schools, and I'll tell you briefly the specifics of those. So once you finish high school, you get your diploma, and then now that gives you the right to enter the exam, which is a big deal in Turkey, entering the exam for university. So there are 2 main exams. So as you saw in grade 8, there is an exam, and then after grade 12, you sit the exam for the university as well. And this happens like countrywide. I mean, they make all the arrangements for these exams, and then the scores are published and announced for everyone to see. One more thing I want to say is that there are 6 classes usually in the day, 40 minutes each. And if you're attending a certain Another type of high school, like Anadolu High School, these schools have a little bit more number of classes, like 8 classes, which are also 40 minutes each. Okay, now let's talk about the different type of high schools. So, number 1 is Fen Lisesi, the science high school. So this school is basically all about math, sciences like chemistry, biology. So if you're looking to become an engineer, if your kid is interested in being a kind of a doctor or an engineer. So I mean, most immigrant families, obviously we know, especially from the eastern side of the world, we're very focused on engineers, doctors. So you're looking at Fen Lisesi for your kids. If you're coming from that background, you're looking for that, then definitely go for Fen Lisesi. The second option is Sosyal Bilimler, which is social sciences. So this is more kind of students who are interested in writing, literature, social sciences, right? So you're looking at this type of school. Third is the most popular one, which is Anadolu Lisesi. So that's the Anatolian high school. And they also offer in this is actually quite a good type of high school, very common. And they do offer 1 year of English as a foreign language in those schools, and especially if you choose a very good one in a good locality, they will provide good language schools. But in some of them, the quality might not be very good, so we have to be careful about that. Number 4 is Anadolu Meslek ve Teknik Lise. So this is Anatolian, Vocational and Technical High School. So just because it says Anatolian doesn't mean it's not going to be in the European part of let's say Istanbul. I mean, it's still gonna be there. It's just the name is Anatolian. Not sure why. Don't ask me why. I don't know why it's called Anatolian. I mean, if somebody does, just put it in the comments below. I would like to know. This type of vocational school, technical school, prepares students for employment directly after they graduate. So the topics that they study are, for example, you could choose different areas like electronic engineering, kind of like ceramics, like construction related stuff. You've got food tech, library sciences, telecommunications, these kind of things. Okay, number five is Anadolu Imam Hatip Lise. So this is the religious Anatolian Imam Hatip High School, which focus on religious studies, Arabic, Quran, that kind of thing. So they do teach other subjects too. So it's not just religion. So they are teaching other topics as well. Before it was difficult, like you would only be accepted in a certain program in university. If you graduated from this, like you would be accepted in the Ilahiyat, the religious department in the university. But now you can actually apply to any department, so it's completely open. Number 6 is Programli, which means multiple program high school. So there's more than one program which is offered, more than one stream. You can choose from 3 streams, which is one is Anadolu technical program. So again, you're looking at these technical topics. The other one is just a Anatolian high school, a regular one like we talked about before. And the third option is Imam Hatip High School. So you've got 3 streams. You can choose which stream you want to study. Now let's talk about private schools in Turkey. So there's 2 main type of private schools. There's the Turkish Ministry curriculum private high school, and then there's the international curriculum private high schools, right? So number 1 is the Turkish curriculum, and you've got 2 different, let's say, branches. The one type is they teach you in Turkish medium. So again, it's kind of like a public school where they're teaching the medium of instruction. The teachers will be speaking in Turkish. Then there is also the English medium. So the medium will be in English, or it will be bilingual at some point. I mean, it might be mixed here and there. So that's the other type. But both, obviously, the bilingual one will have lessons in English and Turkish. The other Turkish one will also have supplementary English lessons or other foreign languages like Arabic or French, German, Spanish, Italian. These kind of options it will have. So this is the Turkish curriculum. All students can attend this without any problem. They'll pay a fee, obviously, and the fees are on average around 30,000 Turkish liras. Again, there is obviously lower ones as well. So you can find ones which are 15, 20,000 as well, and higher as well. So this is just an average in big cities. You will find Ankara, Istanbul, Antalya, or Izmir. You will find that they will on average 30,000. International private schools. Now let's talk about the second one, which is the private international school, international curriculum. So you're talking about IB, you know, the baccalaureate program, the GCSE, the British curriculum, right? So these type of schools, or they will have German, Italian, French curriculum. These schools are majority, they're found in Ankara, you know, because of the diplomatic embassies and so on, in Istanbul and Izmir and Antalya due to the expat population there. They also offer Turkish language lessons too, and also some field trips and things like that. Obviously not now due to COVID, but normally they would offer those things so that it's easier for the kids to assimilate into the Turkish culture. Spaces are limited in these schools, so you do, you know, especially the good ones, you need to shortlist your kids beforehand. There are limited spaces usually. And lastly, they are very expensive. So they are quite expensive. You know, some of the good ones you're looking at about $1,000 a month or more. You know, one famous one in Istanbul, for example, Robert College, and there's obviously others as well. I will share a post, the blog post on this in the description below. It will give you a list of some prices, so check that out on our blog, Think Turkey blog. Definitely check it out. Okay, so just now, general piece of advice. When you're looking to choose, now you've got public schools, you've got private schools, depending on your preference. Are you looking to, basically if you're going into public schools, you might need to supplement the studies with some additional language studies or additional math, science, depending on what type of public school you go to, you send your kids to. Now, when you have the private high schools, the price is quite higher, but usually they do a decent job, so you won't really have to supplement too much in that sense. But of course, you're paying a much higher fee. So these are the two choices. The third option is to homeschool, and that is a completely separate video. So I'll be making a separate video on homeschooling. What are the options, the legality of it, what sorts of curriculum is out there, where the communities are doing homeschooling. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications button on, and do comment below on questions, suggestions, recommendations, anything that you might want to add. Please put it in the comments below, and let's see you in the next video.